Hello, everyone. Becky Brett Caldwell here with a transitional episode of the Virtual Executive Director podcast. Okay, so what does that mean, a transition episode? Here's what that means, everyone. So I have been in something of a cocoon for the past several months. Some of it COVID-19 induced because we can't go anywhere or do anything, and the festival I produce has been canceled for the summer. What I've been doing in this cocoon is identifying where I really believe that my joy, my bliss, my best information and intentions needs to be going next. And when I looked at myself closely, I realized that I have shared all I can in a general sense with the nonprofit leadership community. So, Virtual Executive Director, the podcast, as you've known it and loved it, and thank you for your support over these past 3 years. But that podcast is now complete. It's complete. It is my full body of knowledge and information, and it will always be here for you. So please feel free to go back and listen to other episodes as you need the information. What is coming next is an interview format and a new name. So the new podcast name is Virtual Executive Director Presents The Labyrinth. Labyrinths, you guys. I have been obsessed with them for, the past 20 years, easily 20 years. And I'll share with you the story of how I found labyrinths, and then talk a bit about what the new format is going to be. So story time, everyone. When I was in my early 30s, so yeah, this was almost 20 years ago. I was working at a very stressful and some would say abusive job in Chicago for a major festival. I'll say it, the Chicago Humanities Festival, which is, by the way, I'm sure vastly 100,000% different now than it was when I worked there. But when I worked there, it was extremely stressful. And to the point where I was definitely like in an abusive relationship with my boss. And I don't mean like relationship like romantic. I mean just the work relationship was abusive. And I was super stressed out. It was affecting my physical health. And one night I found myself walking more through downtown to get home. Like I think I was just taking a different train home or something. I don't remember exactly. But I walked by St. James Episcopal Church in downtown Chicago, and I saw this path, this labyrinth next to it. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. I've never seen anything like that before. And what is it? And there was a sign there inviting people to come and walk the path. So I'm like, you know what? I could use more walking. I'm still stressed out. I'm not ready to head home. So I stepped into the path, and that's where my love affair began with labyrinths. So with a labyrinth, there are no wrong turns, even though you might not know exactly which way it's going. And it seems like just when you're about to reach the center, it pulls you farther away. But if you just keep walking, keep moving forward along the path, you eventually get to the middle. And then you turn around and walk back out. And it was such a new experience for my brain because I had to control everything and be like like hyper vigilant and very, very much cover your ass, was my job. And I felt like I was defending a dissertation every time I went to work, every meeting I stepped into. It was exhausting. And to let my brain relax in that way, walking the labyrinth and trusting that each step was getting me closer to my destination, it had such a calming, relaxing effect on my brain. And then, of course, on my body, because they are connected. So that's how I discovered labyrinths. I have done a little bit of research on them. I know a little bit more about the history of them and how they're used. And I discovered the mantra of the labyrinth, which is now informing my executive coaching. And that mantra is release, receive, return. So as you step into a labyrinth, you release whatever you need to release, whether it's old beliefs, thought patterns, habits, the nagging voice in your head that won't shut up, a relationship that is not serving either of you anymore. So many things that you can release when you step into a labyrinth. And then you walk the path releasing all of that. And then you get to the middle. And the thing is about all that releasing, it leaves a hole in you. It leaves a hole. And you want to fill that space with something better, something positive, something that serves you now. And that's what the center of the labyrinth is about. It's about receiving the new thought patterns, new habits, the new relationships that are going to be supportive of you. It's about receiving all of that and refilling yourself with all that goodness. And then as you walk out, following the same path, you return to your life. You take all of these great things you've just received and return to your sort of regular existence. And you return a changed person, hopefully changed for the better. And that's the mantra of the labyrinth. And in fact, there's a saying that I heard recently that you can lose yourself in a maze, but you can find yourself in a labyrinth. And that's what the upcoming podcast is going to be about. It's going to be about finding yourself. It's about that moment in your life when you look up and you're like, how the fuck did I get here? Where the fuck am I? What is going on? It's like that Talking Heads song, you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? That's what the new podcast is going to be about. So I'll be interviewing artists, content creators, and entrepreneurs about this moment. And then we'll sort of virtually follow the path of the labyrinth to talk about what they had to release and receive in order to become who they are now. I hope that sounds enticing to you. I hope that this fills whatever needs you might have for podcast listening in the future. I am so very excited to get rolling with this new format. And my first interview will be next week. The podcast will remain a weekly podcast. I may even add in some smaller episodes. I'm still kind of figuring that out. Like what is this new schedule going to be? But I do like a weekly podcast. I do like giving my community that like weekly dose of goodness and positivity and learning and that feeling that we're not alone in this. We all go through these times of releasing and receiving and then returning. So thank you. Again, thank you to all the nonprofit leaders out there who've supported the podcast for almost 3 years now. I appreciate your support and your attention so much. And as we move forward, please obviously share this with anyone who you think might love this new format and be excited about it. And if you have someone who you would like to hear me interview on the podcast, please shoot me an email, becky@virtualexecutivedirector.com. Thanks again for listening, and I will see you next week.